Yeah, man, it's the one and only DJ Chase. You know this, man. The pregame part of this podcast, right here on WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio, man. Today is a dope episode, man. YouTube DJ Chase TV, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You know this, man. The one and only DJ Chase. We are here with Dr. Gabriel Wade, MD, anesthesiologist and physician of natural healing, as I like to say. So I don't want to disrespect. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
Tired as heck. I'm trying to stop cursing, getting ready with the Lord, but tired. Had a long weekend, so I got a long week ahead of me. But pretty chilling, pretty all right.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. You have a very unique occupation, as I should say. You're an artist, you're a multi-instrumentalist, you do many things, you wear many hats. I want to get into your background a little bit, because sometimes my guests, the people that listen to my show want to know about the person. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get back into your background. You were really from Brooklyn, or you was from Texas?
Yeah, I grew up in Texas, and I moved to New York 7.5 years ago. Yeah, I was living in Yonkers for
yeah.
Moved to Brooklyn.
Got you. So you basically grew up in Texas?
Yeah, till I was like 18.
Copy. What part of Texas you grew up in?
Dallas area.
Oh, nice. Copy. I got a couple artists I work with down there. Dallas always showed me some love. So I like my Dallas people. They show me some love,
Yeah, Dallas.
Copy, man. And how did growing up in the, I guess what they call the Lone Star State kind of like affect you, because you have the Mexican situation, you have the it's a melting pot of a lot of different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Texas is big as heck. So how did growing up in Texas like affect you?
I think the main thing I would say I took from Texas was people are real. It's the Lone Star State, right? So they're real dependent, and they back in the day they wanted to secede from the Union, like they didn't even want to be a part. So I think
real talk, word.
Like that confidence to just go your own way. I think that's what I got most from growing up there. I lived a lot of places over the years there.
Got you. I feel you. Trust me, it's crazy. I was actually the hugest Cowboys fan. I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore, but I could name the Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, or Michael Irvin. That was my squad. I was a huge Cowboy fan, so that's funny. Let me ask you a question. Now, you are a certified anesthesiologist, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Copy. You went to college for that?
Yeah. I went to college, then med school, then
wow.
A long road with that stuff. For sure.
Because the reason I'm asking like that, right, is because a lot of my listeners, they think it's all about music. They think it's all about of course we cater to the music. We go back into the music, but being an anesthesiologist is not something that you hear for a black man to be. You know what I'm saying? It's you hear like maybe a doctor or a surgeon or something like that. Like, what inspired you to get in the medical field?
Man, back in the day, I always wanted to help people in a certain way, and it just, I think that was the thing that, for some reason, there's people around that were doctors that I knew, a couple of black doctors actually that I knew. I looked at them like, oh man, I could do that.
Yeah,
I thought it was a way I could really help, but over the years I learned different ways to help, and that's when I got into the music.
Got you. And being an anesthesiologist, is it like difficult? Like, is it expensive, this old school and everything?
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Because a lot of times black people, especially for the inner cities, they feel like being something outside of a basketball player or a rapper, you can't do both. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel like that education is so unattainable. So, that's why I'm asking like that. Like, do you feel like, it was well worth it, the expense that you paid for it?
Yeah, I think so, in a way. Yeah, definitely. Like, it allowed me to meet a lot of different kind of people, really get a lot of opportunities maybe I wouldn't have, even though that's unfortunate that it's like that. Say, like, it does allow me to get in certain doors to where I'm able to influence maybe in a different way, and I can still remember what I'm really there for. That's really how I
For sure, brother. And as also being a natural healer, right? Do you feel like what inspired that as well? Because your Instagram, I was kind of looking through it. I'm like, he's really into like vibrations and energies and spirituality and emotional healing and internal healing as opposed to out the physical healing. What made you want to get into that?
Man, that's like when I was, let me see, my ex-wife, honestly, when we were dating, she recommended this book that I read called The Finding of the Third Eye. And basically, it was a metaphysics book. And I just started learning about all this stuff, that's the unseen world, basically. And you start realizing a lot of stuff is done with this energy over the years. Like, it's just stuff that's been unexplained to us. It's been hidden from us for a long time. But when I started to read it and study it more, I started to realize I gained certain knowledge and certain skills in the healing capacity. Then after a while, I took a class in Reiki. It's a certain type of energy healing, so it allowed me to really access that universal life force energy and transfer it to people when they need healing of any kind. So it just kind of was a progression. You just learning certain things and then realizing how to utilize that in my practice, so I can help people in different ways, not just only medicine. You help people in the emotional. People, a lot of times physical stuff happens from the emotional and stuff we can deal with in the past, or a lot of spiritual confusion or mental stuff you got to deal with.
That's and it's cool that you answer like that, because I know a lot of doctors and stuff, they're atheists. Do you feel like God is definitely, because you went to school for it, do you feel like God and the spirits, and I mean of course you do, but do you feel like just overall like that God is the key to all of this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's a higher power, and people will describe it a lot of different ways. Like some people will say God, some people will say the universe, or whatever people name it. I think it's definitely, for sure, forces that we can tap into also, forces that we can tap in. There is a spirit. I don't really see that there's nothing out there. To me, it doesn't make sense. You look up at the stars and what's all that? Like, it's something more than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, for sure. And with metaphysics, right? A lot of people feel like, okay, some of it is BS. So like the zodiac signs and stuff like that. I mean, it is metaphysical in a way because it's more law as opposed to like the actual science of it. But do you feel like like sometimes people just make stuff up?
I mean, it's possible. It's possible some stuff, but a lot of, if you really get into any of these sciences, they make sense. If you study them deep. But a lot of times we learn things surface level, like the zodiac signs, like people, like I'm a Gemini, right? So, but that's not the only thing that's influencing my personality. There's a lot of things just based on how you were born and the stars were lined up. That's all. Really.
Got you. Yeah, I know, because I'm actually curious. You know what I'm saying? Because I never heard of a actual medical like doctor or medical professional really taking heed into medical to metaphysics. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff is kind of geared towards not being metaphysical in a way. You know what I'm saying? So, what type of things do you feel like it can cure? Like, what do you feel like? How do you feel like it heals the physical as well as the internal?
Well, with the it's a holistic thing, like I energy healing for a lot of stuff, and with that, it's really about you setting your intention, allowing yourself to call in the energy that you need to really whatever ways you want it to. And honestly, some really wild stories, like one time my mom actually had tore a rotator cuff, and we did some energy healing, and a month later she totally forgot that it ever happened.
Wow.
Other things, like people just really getting on more of a balanced path in their life, really clearing a lot of old stuff, being able to live their life purpose. That's the main thing I feel like happens with that. So with that, when you're living more in harmony with yourself, health gets better and all the other stuff improves, because it's not so much, fighting inside, that makes people unhealthy. A lot of times it's just us either not understanding ourselves, and really that's what I feel like it comes down to, is the knowledge of self. When you realize how to take care of yourself for you, because medicine a lot of times will tell you a blanket thing. This is what you got. This is what's good for you. Not necessarily. People are very multidimensional. You know, everybody's different. Every single person. So I try to take it, whether it's nutrition or whether it's whatever I'm doing. I try to just use different as the healing music. Those vibrations are real. You know, like so.
Yeah, because that's dope, you know, because I produce music, so I'm in my laboratory right now. So as you see, I have, you know, so I kind of understand frequencies, and I try to be, when I make music, I try not to hit that bass bottom to the point where it's just demonic. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes, you know, they starting to see that now, that how it's really affecting the children. So I try my best to not do that. You know, but do you feel like, okay, do you feel like with music, with religion, right? Do you feel like, you know what, sometimes it's just maybe stress, or just some like if you say, okay, I put this energy towards like de-stressing, right? Like even me, I started getting into massages as an adult. Like I should have been doing it years ago. That takes like 20 pounds off of me, like when I just go get a massage. So it's like, you know, do you feel like sometimes, like even just a religious going to church or going to the mosque is natural healing as well?
Yeah, if it works for you and it makes you feel in a better place, a more balanced place, that's the way. You know, for me, I grew up religious, and I mean I did it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And, I don't go to church anymore or anything, but I'm so more into my spirituality, where I definitely keep myself balanced in that way. So I think some kind of spiritual life is just important for a balanced person. So if it's the church or mosque, whatever it is, I think if it works for you and it helps you, people should stick with it. If it doesn't help them, I think they should try something else, but still keep in mind that the spiritual aspect is important.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I want to get into the music with you, you know, because even like you said, we talk about the sounds and the vibrations and the basses and the 808s and the keyboards and the pianos and the snare. All these things make that music up. So they hit you in a different way. So me as a DJ, I know how to shift somebody's attention, or I know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it gets me crazy because I know you can start tapping into people's psyche doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what made you say, you know what, I want to just do music as well?
Man, the music. You know what? Honestly, I was healing myself. Years I was in just through growing up, like through my 20s. I didn't really do it when I was a kid. Through my 20s, I started just like making rhymes on people's beats and stuff on the computer.
For sure.
You know, just trying to like express myself. And I never even let anybody hear it. But over the years, I practiced more and more, and it just developed. Probably after 15 years.
Yeah, it happens.
I learned the bass.
Yeah.
And that just took me into a whole nother zone where I learned some music theory and I started playing all these other instruments. So I don't know, after that, I just got better at mixing and all that. And, you know, I originally, I realized it healed me. I said, I need to help other people with the vibrations. And I put intention. Like you said, you can put intention into the production to where it comes across that way. I'm fine.
Yeah, dope, man. And you know, being a bass player, you know, do you feel like, okay, that you have a responsibility to not get to those dark energies, but just stay in like more of a positive light with your music?
Yeah, I definitely put intention on you know, some type of activation or awakening in my music. Knowledge of self, healing for sure. Like whatever is gonna raise that vibration. That's what I'm always on.
Got you. Yeah, because I love therapy. I like going to therapy. I'm a therapy guy. So, you know, even with me, I've been through so much in my life and just to DJ. You know what I'm saying? I never sold drugs. I never been a gang member and none of that. I went to college and I was a nerd in school, but you know, unfortunately the circumstances that play, I had to deal with so much, you know what I'm saying? So what would you say if somebody feels like they're constantly like there's a dark cloud over them? What would you say if you feel like, okay, there's a dark cloud over me, why does this keep happening to me? How would natural healing fix that?
I think what it will allow you to do is understand the reasons why. And once people understand the reasons why has happened and how it was actually there to help them grow in certain ways, it clears up a lot of things, and it allows you to like really move forward in a different way. And that's what I've noticed with people. It's all about opening up the mind. What it does is it opens up the energy centers in the body and really clears that, allows that flow of chi or life force energy that we all have. You know, science would call it oxygen, what really powers our organs and stuff. And allows that to flow through clearly. And it releases all these blockages and things that's happened that we store. You know, we store a lot of stuff from childhood and everybody. So it's just stuff we got to let go. So that's really how energy healing helps that. Then there's other things you can do, like telling yourself certain things, changing your mind, which will eventually change your body and everything else. Like the mind is everything really when it comes to how we operate and what we think. So affirmations, like just what I do is I start telling myself exactly who I want to be. You know, I don't say I want to stop being this, because I don't want to even mention that. I say I am this, I am that, I am this, and then while you repeat that to yourself so much, you start to believe it, and then other people start to believe it. That's all it, to me, all it really takes. But I mean, to get to that point, it takes a lot of work. You know?
Listen, I'm here to learn. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for myself. So I'm asking just in a sense, because sometimes I feel like with me, like I was a workaholic, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but I'm just, because I always felt like there's nobody going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have rich parents, so I had to work harder, like twice as harder than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Just 20 times harder, even in growing up. Like you know, as a teenager, I didn't even like, I worked and went to school, so I don't even know certain things. Like, do you feel like, okay, somebody like me who doesn't feel like, because sometimes I feel like people try to will themselves too much to success as opposed to without putting the work in. Do you feel like that's a kind of a negative thing though?
I think it's always about balance. You know, I've been in a place where I was working too much. I think it's also, what are you working for? You know, are you working to, are you working for things you need? Or because there's always a level where I feel like we can pull back from work, still survive comfortably how we want, and feel better. We maybe not make as much money or whatever, but like me, I work anesthesia probably part-time now, half the time.
Wow. Okay.
I'm doing music and the energy healing, all the other stuff I just love to do. It allows me to really feel better by giving up a lot of money, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know how much you guys make. Nah, because you know what it is? Sometimes I feel like it's getting, because, you know, everybody's starting to get into the metaphysics. I've been on a chi for years. I've been on it for a long time. My parents were hippies, unfortunately, but it kind of hurt them because they were hippies, but they didn't really focus too much on the money. So I'm paying for their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So they're just like, oh, just not pray on it, but just let it flow. And you know what I'm saying? And just, I'm like, Ma, I can't, this is not going to work. Like, but like I said, I love your take on it, and I appreciate what you're saying on it. And I want to get into this new record. How do you pronounce it? Hypknosis?
Well, it's hypnosis, but the K is like K and no, like to knowledge. That's why I would spell it like that. Hypnosis. It's
gotcha. Yeah, and it's a really creative song, because the song itself is real healing and real divine, but it's really it's the structure that what caught my attention of it. Because when I was playing it today on the radio station, I was like, okay, I'm breaking it down to cue points. So I'm like, okay, this is here. He put the, you know what I'm saying, the healing sounds first, and then he puts the spoken word, the calm spoken word first, and then he goes into the rap break, and then the singing, and it's crazy. So how did this record come about?
Man, me and Ahselam, who was collaborated on the project, who was the second artist on the song, we were sitting here. We had been listening to like some Miles Davis. It's Just Brew, and I don't know if you heard that album. It's really trippy.
I never heard it.
Oh yeah, it's super trippy. But
yeah.
Anyway, it's just certain sounds he was using, and a certain vibration. You know, we really connect back to that old, like, ancient Egyptian type of energy. We both really kind of connected to that, and that just seemed to be what came through. She started, she actually laid down those 808s, and I put the guitar on there, and she started playing the clarinet, and it just created this. It was like, whoa, that's some like, I don't even know, it sounded like some tempo.
For sure.
So it just came out, that's just what the song was, we just let it come out, I guess.
Got you, man. And that's super dope. And once again, I'm gonna play it on the show, so I'm gonna have it playing on the beginning. What would you say? Okay, with Hypknosis, do you feel like I want to put a whole project out of just healing energy music, or do you say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it like single and just incorporate the real life aspect to it with the music?
It's funny. My first album is called I Am Healed, and it's kind of like lo-fi type of really super healing tones. It's like not really any much vocals on there, just some like background kind of stuff. And so that's for that, for sure. I have a couple albums that are like more healing, straight healing albums, very calm and relaxing, where I put the energy healing music for sure. Yeah. But this project with us, it definitely takes you with different places.
Yeah.
All the tones are healing. That's in the background of all the music. But it definitely has some upbeat stuff, the one I'm coming out with me and her, that project called Solar Return.
There you go. I just, I kind of got the question out of you, what I'm saying, the answer out of you, but no seriousness, like I like conversations like this. I'm actually probably have you on again, what I'm saying? I just, because like I said, I was into my ankh, and sometimes even me, like when I'm starting to feel a certain way, just even this weekend just was a crazy weekend for me because I work from home most of the time, so sometimes it's like, okay, how do I have this clean energy? I'm a clean freak, so I have to like clean my house and have to have it like open spaces and stuff like that. When you produce music, right? I want to ask you this: when you produce music, right, and you say, okay, with jazz is in psychedelic and stuff like that, it's not as structured. Do you feel like you have to like structure your music a certain way?
I mean, not gonna say most people, but a lot of people earlier on for sure would tell me that they hear like, man, I have to structure that or whatever. But I think what happened was when I started to just get better at the sound, people were like, all right, well, less people started saying that, even though it still doesn't have the same structure. I mean, I could do it structured but I choose to do it the different way. And it usually comes about by the intention I'm trying to push through with the music. So sometimes some stuff is a little more structured, but I do feel that maybe the industry wants that, or that's the industry standard to have a certain structure.
Yeah.
But I just
got you. Yeah. For sure, man. Like I said, man, Gabriel Wade, man, for sure, man. And before we get out of here, I want to ask you, with your natural healing, do you have your own practice?
Yeah.
Copy. Yeah. Where's your practice located?
I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn. So I work. So with anesthesia, I do my own thing there with a couple different offices. But then the natural healing stuff I do in Brooklyn. I go anywhere.
Copy. And what are some? And I have to ask this. I want to ask this: do you vegan, pescatarian, or carnivore? Omnivore. Not carnivore, but omnivore is good.
I'm kind of in the middle, I'll eat chicken and fish. I don't mess with red meat too much, honestly. I grew up vegetarian.
Oh wow!
I could go that way, honestly, sometimes, but I think going in New York, sometimes you need certain amount of energy, and for me, being vegan, I would have to eat way too much to keep up with my energetic needs from all the stuff I be doing all day. So it's sometimes like some kind of clean meat that's not really too fatty or whatever I'll eat.
Copy. Thank you, man. I wanted to ask that, because I want to ask questions that people the dumbass questions that people be asking me. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not a doctor, like, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to have that on there. So thank you very much, man. And before we get out of here, once again, plug the album, plug the new single, man. Plug, how you say her name? Ahselam?
Ahselam, yeah.
Ahselam, yeah. So plug the new single, Hypknosis, brother.
Okay, so yeah, our new single, Hypknosis, Hypknosis. Very calm, healing energy, but it also has some psychedelic vibes. So I think you'll like it. So just take a listen.
Copy, man. You know what it is, man. Gabriel Wade in a building, anesthesiologist, just natural healer, just a dope individual. He's gonna be on the show again because I need some healing. So I'm gonna come get a green juice and some natural healing.
Hey, I got you, bro.
Word, I'll pay good rate. So I'll pay the rate. So yeah, man.
We can trade for this kind of stuff. This is cool.
Listen, this music business and this life out here is wicked business, bro. For sure, man. Is once again, it's a Gabriel Wade, man. You know this. You can find him on the Instagram. Is the Pregame Party Mix, a podcast with DJ Chase. We here WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio. Get that DJ Chase merch. DJChase.net, DJChaseRadio.com, and YouTube DJ Chase TV. On that YouTube, it's the one only Pregame Party Mix podcast. Yeah, DJ Chase TV.
It's official. Come on. DJ Chase on the Pregame Party